Many of you are surely wondering why I have summoned you at this hour.
It's time for the big interview.
All right, boys, prepare to be dazzled.
That's right, it's big. It's the big names, the big news, the biggest stories. It's the next big thing. What's the big deal? It's the big interview.
What's going on here? This is big news. We need coverage of this.
MoneyLife brings you the big thinkers, the top experts, the brightest minds. With the big interview, you can stay informed about all the financial matters that are important to you, all in one big package.
Oh boy, I've never gotten a package this big. I've always wanted to have a huge package.
Did my taxes pay for this?
The big interview. Sit down, strap yourself in, and get ready to learn.
Your mind is beginning to work. It's entirely due to my influence, of course. You mustn't take any credit.
And today, your mind is going to be getting to work on a really interesting book. It's called Invest to Win, Earn and Keep Profits in Bull and Bear Markets with the Gains Master Approach. And the author is Toni Turner. Now, I will tell you, when I first got this book, I wanted to hate it. And I wanted to hate it because, well, I believe that for some of our audience, anything that kind of suggests you're going to have to trade a lot, etc., that's not necessarily what I think many individual investors have as a strength. And there are plenty of books out there that I think will blow folks up. But the more I read, and you know, if you listen to the show, I don't have authors on where I haven't looked into the book and read a bunch of it. I actually thought, you know, for those folks who want to approach trading, who want to come up with something that gives them an ironclad strategy that they say, hey, I now have a methodology I can live with. I really liked the approach here. And so again, the book is Invest to Win. It is out from McGraw-Hill. And if you want more information, you can go to Toni's website. It is ToniTurner.com. That is Toni with an I. Toni Turner, welcome to Money Life.
Thank you, Chuck. Thank you for having me.
Now, it is important for folks to recognize that you can come up with trading strategies, with strategies that are, as you have it as the title, investing to win, that are not something where, you know, give up your day job and become a day trader. How does somebody decide which elements? Because there's a lot, and the book goes into a lot of layers. How does somebody basically say, okay, I want to go from buy and hold to something that's a little bit more active, and be able to make that transition comfortably without, I'm diving in, I'm trying trading, and then I'm blowing myself up?
Right. Well, and we don't suggest that. Now, in the book, myself and my co-author, Gordon Scott, we talk about how investors, and hear that word, investors, can, as you said, have a definite plan, definite guidelines that they can feel comfortable with that are not by any means short-term trading. It's simply to say that, you know what it says overall? It says manage your risk. Manage your risk. And you can do that in a number of ways. And certainly our Gains Master approach, everything we say applies to that. You know, it's like Warren Buffett's old saying, don't lose money. Well, that's essentially what we're saying in this book. And we talk about it in our Gains Master approach. It gives you a four-pronged approach to going into the market. We're not advocating day trading here. The book is not about day trading, but as you said, it's about active investors. We're talking to people who don't have the time, and truly don't have the time, to do a buy and hold approach. Meaning, if you're 55 years old or 60 years old, you don't have time to lose the profits you've made in, say, the last 4 years in the stock market. You don't have time to lose them in a big market downturn, should one turn up. You don't have the time to lose it and then make it back. We're showing you how to make profits and how to protect them. And yes, it's a little bit of work. It takes maybe a few minutes once every week or once every month to look at your account. But we give you clear guidelines, tell you what to do, and it's an approach that actually keeps your profits in your pocket.
Let's talk a little bit about the Gains Master approach in terms of what it is. If you could define it for my audience, the book spends a lot of time defining it and does it very well. But for my audience who maybe has never heard of what you call the Gains Master approach, let's lay it out for them.
The approach is one that Gordon and I developed And it's a four-pronged approach. And the four prongs or the four steps are actually very simple if you look at them in an overall view. And, of course, we go into more detail. First, identify your investing goals. So many people jump into the market. Oh, I bought this. Oh, I bought that. Oh, a cab driver told me. Oh, my gardener told me. That's not identifying where you need to go. You got to identify your time horizon of, say, how far you have to retirement and how much can you afford to lose. And you've got to be very cold and calculating about this. And you don't want to lose more than that. Identify that number. So the first prong would be identify investing goals. Second is evaluate the market when you're getting into it. For goodness sakes, you don't just jump into the market, we don't think, without knowing whether we can call it the Dow or the S&P 500 or even the NASDAQ. Is the market moving higher like it is now? Okay, this is very good. But if the market's moving lower and we give you signals to identify that, do you really want to get into a losing ball game? At least you want to know with some simple signals whether the market's in a happy mood or not, because you're going to do better probably getting in a winning environment. Number three, you want to analyze your opportunities, and there's different kinds of opportunities depending on your investing goals and what the market environment is, and we tell you how to identify them. Finally, the most important to me is the fourth prong is manage your risk. Manage your risk. And again, we tell you how to do that. And if you say, okay, I now need to move, for instance, from growth stocks, high-flying growth stocks, maybe to value stocks or bonds, maybe ETFs, we tell you how to do that and how to identify the times you do it. So it's four different prongs, or I should say four different keys, and that is the Gains Master approach.
Let's talk a little bit how it would be working, say, now. We're now at a spot where the market has come back to all-time highs. But investors right now are pretty happy that the market's at new highs, but pretty nervous that maybe the market is overdue for some sort of a step back. How does the Gains Master approach and you suggest that folks would be reacting in this market?
In the overall Gains Master approach, we use simple signals, but we give you a little more detail. Like one of the things we talk about, if the utilities ETF or if the utilities index is starting to outperform the rest of the market, that is a signal that investors are getting defensive. So while we think this is a bull market, while we think a pullback here will be shallow, while we do believe there will probably be more of a 10 to 15% retracement going into maybe May, it's still a good time to invest here. What I would do at all-time market highs is perhaps take on less risk by cutting down my share size. And that's what we advise, cutting down your share size in times in times like these where people think, gee, maybe I could get a better price in a week or 2 or 3 weeks from now.
You made a very strong point about one of the reasons to pursue this form of investing is because you don't have the time to recover from the losses and the downturns. You talked about a 10 to 15% retracement, a word I like much better than correction because it doesn't apply that the market is correct when it goes down. And the question for some folks would be, in a system or an approach like this one, am I trying to be on the sidelines when the market takes that 10 to 15% drop and pick a time when it looks like it's better and I can get back in?
And because this book is about investing and not trading, okay, we teach a little bit of technical analysis in this book, and I don't want that word or that term to throw anyone off.
Oh, no, we love it. The interview just before this one today was all about technical analysis. We talk tech analysis on this show all the time.
Okay, good. All right. Then, in the book, we give you a combination of fundamental and technical analysis signals to look at to ascertain whether we have a go market, which is growth and opportunity, or whether we have a stop market, and that acronym could be safety trades only, please. Right now, obviously, the S&P 500, which is the index we use to identify, quote unquote, the market, is certainly trading above its 14-week moving average, which is one simple indicator we use, or the 12-month moving average, which is one of the other indicators we use. So we have to say right now the market's in a good place to invest. Now, anybody who reads more into it and wants to get more precise entries can naturally look at it and say all-time highs. I think there will be a pullback here or a retracement, and they can wait for lower values. But we think that people who get into the market now, certainly there's a lot of opportunities out there of stocks that are not trading at their all-time highs that are really good value opportunities, actually some good growth opportunities too. So it depends on how precise they want to get with their entries. Certainly we help you be more precise than just saying, oh, I'm buying Igloo ice cream today because my broker said it looked good.
Absolutely, and that's what I like about the book. It will help folks frame their own approach and use the Gainsmaster approach. The book, again, Invest to Win. Earn and keep profits in bull and bear markets with the Gainsmaster approach. Gordon Scott wrote the book with my guest, Toni Turner. If you want more information, go to Toni's website. It is ToniTurner.com. Toni, thanks so much for joining me on Money Life. I hope you'll come back and talk technical analysis with us.
I'd love to, Chuck. Thank you for having me.
There's much more to go on the Friday, March the 15th edition of Money Life. Stay around. We'll be right back. Up next, the weird financial news. You don't want to miss that.